Hello and welcome back to day 5 of Bookmas. So for today's video, I wanted to do this tag that I saw on my bookstagram. I've seen so many people do it, so I have no idea who started it, but I'll put on the screen the name of the most recent person who I've seen do it. And this is the 5 by 5 by 5 tag. At least that's what I call it in my head. And so it is 5 books on your TBR, 5 books that were kind of a miss, and 5 books that were a hit. So for my 5 books on my TBR, number 1 is Brimstone. This is the second book to Quicksilver. It just came out a couple weeks ago, and I am just so excited. I loved that book. Quicksilver was I feel like the main book this year that really got me into adult fantasy. And so I'm really excited to read the second one. It is a bit on the long side. It's like 600 and something pages. So it probably won't be until after the holidays that I get into it, but I'm really, really excited to read it. Another book that's on my TBR is The Crash Test. This one is a male-male romance where we have one character is a F1 racer, the other one is a F2 racer. And the two of them have been secretly dating for about a year or so. But the F2 racer, he gets in a pretty bad crash. And so now our F1 racer is really struggling to keep going with the season because he's too busy worrying about his boyfriend. And so I really want to start reading more queer romances. And so I've heard a lot of really good things about this one, and I really want to read it. Another book that's on my TBR is Finley Donovan is Killing It. I've seen so many good things about this one. So our main character, Finley, she's an author, and she's in this coffee shop talking to her agent about her new book. And afterwards, she's approached by this woman who is like, hey, I would like to hire you to my husband. I heard that that's what you do, and I'd like to pay you to do it. And Finley is like, what? So that person heard the conversation and thought it was real life, not a fictional book that Finley wrote. But times are tough. Money's a bit tight. And it sounds like she goes through with it. I'm not sure. So I really want to read it. I've heard so many good things. So it's another one that I really want to get my hands on. Another book that I actually do have a copy of already is First Time Caller by B.K. Morrison. This one I really want to read. So we have our male main character who is a radio talk show host. And he does this segment or something like that where it is about giving advice, romantic advice for people. And so people will call in. And so this one night he gets this call, but it's from a little girl, and she's asking for advice for her mom. And then she gets caught by the mom, and the mom is expecting the worst. And then she goes on, and then the two of them end up talking. And it sounds like some sparks fly. So I'm really excited to read it. I've heard so many good things. Again, I just need more free time to read, man. And then for our 5th book, I had to include at least one holiday romance. I didn't want all 5 to be holiday romances, but I did think about it. So I limited myself to just one, and that is Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I really, really want to read this one. So we have our female main character who she's just out and about, and she ends up kind of making some snide remarks about this window display to this man who's next to her. And then it turns out that that man who was next to her is actually the owner of the shop, and he's the one that did the window design. And so it turns out she's a little bit down on her luck. So he ends up offering her a job to do it better. And so now she's really taking this job seriously, and she is really trying to not notice how attractive her new boss is. I just think this one sounds like so much fun, especially for the holiday season. It sounds so much fun. Now, 5 books that have been some misses for me. I limited it to only books that I've read this year, not all-time grapes, So one of the ones that come to mind is The Midnight Feast. I read this for my ranking the 2024 Mystery and Thriller Goodreads Choice Award nominees. I really did not like this one. It was just a little all over the place, and things didn't make sense. And the whole kind of twist at the end is built on this idea that you wouldn't be able to recognize someone from your childhood that you had known beforehand, and that they would look and act and sound completely different, that you wouldn't be able to recognize them at all. And if it was just for one person, okay. But it was 5 different people that was what that was. And I was like, this is so unrealistic. Like, yes, you have to extend your belief a little bit, but this was like more than I could extend my belief. I just was not a fan of this one. Another one that was a miss for me was one that I was actually really, really enjoying until the end, and that was How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. Usually I love Megan Quinn, but this one, when we got to the like 3/4 point, you know, the like third act reveal, it totally ruined the whole book for me. I really don't like lies. And it was kind of a really big one that just totally like shot down this book for me. So it was really cute. And maybe it's more of like me personally being too hard on it. But if I was Story, I would have been absolutely livid by like what she finds out. Yeah, like it just ruined the book for me. Another one that was a bit of a miss, and this is actually a recent one, was Death Row by Frida McFadden. I read this for Not So Scary-a-thon, and you guys know I usually love Frida McFadden, but this one, I did not like it. Like, I thought the premise was really cool, and then you have that twist, and the twist twisted it down the drain, you know, like it was not good at all. Like I was just so confused, and I was like, that was it? Really? That's what this was? Okay, cool. Like I did not like it at all. And it sounds like a lot of people think the same thing as me. So it's not just me being, you know, a Scrooge, you know. Another book that was a miss for me was All the Colors of the Dark. I read this for that Goodreads video, but it was also my book club's pick that month. I didn't like it. I really, really disliked our main character and how he treated other people. And I also didn't like how like you had this whole like 600-page story that is leading up to this moment, and then you get there and it's over just like that. Like I really did not like that. And then the other main gripe I had with that one is there would be so many like cliffhangers. And I say it like that because I feel like it was just really poorly done, where you're reading and you're reading, and then something happens, and then the chapter ends, and then the beginning of the next chapter is like way ahead of what had just happened. And you're like, okay, wait, but can we circle back and finish what happened right here before we move on? And I think it was supposed to be like to build suspense. And for me, it just pissed me off. I did not like it at all. And then my 5th miss, which also was a kind of recent one, was Beautiful Ugly. I read this one for my forcing myself to read my book of the month video. This one, I really like the idea. We have this author, he's down on his luck. He gets sent to this island to like really like focus on writing another book. And, you know, he's grieving of the loss of his wife who's disappeared. So, you know, at this point, they're assuming that she's dead. And then things on the island are weird, and he's thinking he's in danger, and he's trying to leave, and it's just this whole thing. And I was like, is there a paranormal element happening here? And then you find out like the twist, and then you're like, what? And then because of the twist, then it like kind of undoes what you had just read. And then you're like, wait, but then that doesn't make sense. I don't know. I didn't like it. I was really surprised that that one was actually on the 2025 Choice Award list for mystery and thriller, because yeah, I really didn't like it. I felt like that twist kind of just like ruined the beginning half of the book. So I don't know, maybe it was just a me thing, but I really didn't like the ending on that one. All right, so now to stop being a negative Nelly, 5 hits for me, which all of these are 5-star reads. First one that comes to mind is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I loved this book. I love A Grumpy Sunshine, and it was so cute with now I'm forgetting everyone's names, but it was so cute with, oh gosh, what was her name? Willa getting really close with Luke, I think, which is the son that she was hired to babysit for, and just the found family of all of them together. I really, really liked this one. I love Elsie Silver. So this one, chef's kiss. I absolutely adored this book. Another 5-star read for me was Listen for the Lie. This was another one that I'd read for my Goodreads Choice Awards, Mystery and Thrillers for 2024. This one was so cool. And I will say, if you're going to pick this one up, pick it up as an audiobook, because what you're reading is, it is a like true crime podcast that has come to this small town to try to solve a cold case. And so you're getting interviews with people on the podcast. And if you listen to the audiobook, it's like you're listening to the podcast. Like the podcast parts of the story, they'll do like intro music, and then there's different people talking, like narrating those voices, and then there's sound effects to make it sound like an actual podcast. And it was just such a cool and immersive audiobook listening experience. Not to mention, I just liked the story. I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was really cool. Another 5-star read for me was Two Twisted Crowns. Now, this is the second book in the Shepherd King duology. The first one was a 4.5, and I don't usually give half stars, but it wasn't quite a 5-star because of how hypocritical our female main character was. But in the second book, we're getting not dual POVs, multiple POVs, because I think there's like 4. I think it's 4 that you're getting in the book. And it's really, really good. I really enjoyed it. And like some of the like most romantic dialogue too in this one. I loved this book. I love this duology. Like this is one that I definitely will be rereading at some point because it was just so much fun. Another 5-star read for me was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I love Abby Jimenez. This one was such a fun like idea. You have these two people that they end up like commenting on a Reddit thread, and then they start talking online, and then they meet up in person, and they like click super well, but they both are like real feeling people who have complicated home lives, and they have their own flaws. And I just love Abby Jimenez's writing because I feel like everything I've read by her characters, they feel like real people who make mistakes and have flaws. And I loved this one. It was just so funny. Like I was just laughing out loud so much reading this one. And for our 5th hit, I'm going to pick Pucking Sweet by Emily Rath. I love this Jacksonville Rays series, but this one I recently read, and it was just so much fun. This is the 3rd book in the series, and this is a very spicy one. This is a male-male, female polyamorous relationship, and it's a hockey romance with 2 of the players and the team's like PR manager. And you had seen the 3 of them like kind of get peeks of them in the first 2 books, which are about different couples. But I loved this one. It was just so sweet. This is the type of polyamory that I do like. I'm not a big fan of the ones where it's like a why choose. I like it when it's like a full family unit and everyone is in the relationship together. It's not just like, oh, this one woman has like 3 boyfriends, you know? So I really love this one. It's super funny, super sweet. I love seeing all the other characters. Yeah, this one was really fun. Alrighty, so that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'd love to see in the comments below, what are some of your guys' answers for these questions? What are some books that are on your TBR? What have been some books that you read recently that were not it? And what are some books that you read recently that you absolutely loved? Because, you know, I'm always looking to build my TBR. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in like 2 days. Bye.